Now let's see how to handle list and list elements, and what tools does Python provide for this. We've seen the len function being used on a list. But what if you want to find out the maximum or minimum value within a list? Well, you have the max and min functions available for that. So, let's see our list again, list 1. Okay, let's do a min on list 1. Okay, we get -11, which seems about right, since it is the only negative value in the list. Now let's see the max function on our list. Okay, Juniper, well, wasn't this supposed to be the 10.5 value? You see, Python evaluates string values as being larger than any number values. This is how it does it, and we have to accept it. Remember the max function we used to compare two numbers? Well, let's use it to compare a number and a string so we can have this clear in our minds. So, max between 1 and the string a. So we get a. So, take this as a rule when comparing strings and numbers from now on. Okay, now let's check the available list methods we have in hand. First, we should learn how to append an element to a list. It's simple enough. So we have list 1. We just have to use the append method for this. So list1.append, and let's append the element 100. Let's check list 1 again. Okay, so we can see 100 being added to the list. Nice. Now let's remove an object. We have three options here. First, we can use the following command, del and list1 of, let's say, 4, index 4. So we are deleting the element at index 4 in our list. So let's check this, list1. So we can see that 10.5 was removed from our list. Nice. Another way to remove an element by its index is using the pop method, like this. So list1 dot pop, open and close parentheses, and here you should specify the index of the element you want to remove. So let's say pop of 0 should remove the Cisco element from the list. So let's check this. Okay, this is correct. The third way is to actually remove an element by specifying the element name, the element value itself. This is done with the remove method. So list1 dot remove, dot remove of, let's say, HP. Now let's check list1 again, and HP was indeed removed from the list. Okay, now let's see how can we insert an element at a particular index into the list. So we can use the insert method, like this, list1 dot insert. First, you should specify the index at which you want to introduce your new value, so 2, then a comma, and then the value of the new element. So let's say Nortel. Okay, let's check the list1 again. Okay, so we see Nortel being inserted at index 2 in our list. Nice. Another interesting method is appending a list to another list. So let's say we have list 2 with elements 9, 99, and 999. Okay, so this is list 2. Okay. To add the elements of list 2 to list 1, we can use the extend method, like this. So we have list 1 and list 2. Okay, list1 dot extend, and in between parentheses you type the second list, so list 2. Okay, now let's check list 1. You can see that the elements of list 2 were appended to list 1, which is what we wanted in the first place. Nice. Now, remember the index and count functions from strings? Python makes them available also for lists. So let's find out the index of an element in our list and how to count the occurrences of an element in the list. So we have list1. Okay, let's see list1 dot index of -11. So let's find out the index of element -11. and indeed it is index 3. Now let's append the value 10 and have this value twice in our list. So list1 dot append append of 10. Let's check the list. So now we have the value 10 twice in our list. Okay, let's count the occurrences of 10 in our list. This can be done with the count method. So list1 dot count of the element you want to count. So 10. Okay, so it returns 2 occurrences of this element, which is indeed correct. Now let's have a look at ways to sort the elements in a list. First, we can use the sort function. So returning to list2, let's add a couple of elements first. So list2 dot append of, let's say 1, let's say 25, let's say 500. Okay, let's see list2 now. Okay, now let's say that we want to have them in ascending order. For this, we just have to use the sort method like this. So list2 dot sort, and that's it. Let's see list2 now. Okay, so we have them from the smallest to the largest number, ordered in this way. So it is an ascending order. Cool. What if we want the elements in reverse or descending order? Well, we have to use the reverse function for this. So list2 dot reverse gives us the reversed list from earlier. Okay, so starting with the largest element up to the smallest element in the list. Nice. As you can see, these two methods are modifying the list in place, meaning that after you apply the method, there is no other list created. You have the same list too, only that the elements are in a specific order. To sort the elements of a list and create a new list in the same time, you have to use the sorted method, or function, actually. Let's see it in action. Now, let's sort the elements in ascending order. So, sorted of list2. Okay, gives us a new list in ascending order. Nice. If you want to use the same function to reverse the order, just add an argument inside the parentheses like this. So, sorted of list2, comma, and let's add reverse equals true. Now you have the same list in descending order. Okay. By the way, you may ask me, where did the reverse equals true argument come from? Well, I knew it because I used it a couple of times, but if you want to check the syntax or available arguments for a function, you shouldn't forget the help command. So let's do a help on sorted. Okay, so you can see that the reverse equals false or true is indeed a valid argument for this function. Now type Q to exit this. Okay, two more things here. You can concatenate or repeat a list as you did with strings using the plus and multiplication operators. So let's see list1 plus list2. Okay, it gives us a bigger list. Nice. Also list2 times 3. Sorry, I forgot it too. List2 times 3 gives us list2 repeated 3 times, so correct again. Notice that here the duplicate elements are allowed, so don't worry about that. Next we are going to discuss list slices.